Library Director for the Millersville Public Library, and we are located at 1174 Louisville Highway, which is on 31W. We're actually right across the street from the Millersville Community Center. So if you come into their parking lot, you'll see us right across the street. We are the newest library in the Sumner County Library System. We've been here about 5 years. We're a 6,000 square foot building, so we're not the largest library in the system by a long shot. And because of that, we tend to focus on bringing in newer titles and titles that really are specific to our patron population's needs. So one of the things that we've had to do now that COVID-19 has really shut down a lot of the services that we were offering is we've started with our curbside service. And you can see over here on the cart. So our curbside service that we have is completely contactless. When people put holds, they can do that either through the computer or they can call into the library and we'll place the holds for them. We check the material out on their cards and then we put it out here on the cart in a plastic bag with their name on it. That way people who aren't comfortable coming inside are able to just come and pick up their titles and take it with them. We are offering our entire collection out here for curbside service. So we have our children's area books, we have all of the books from the adult section, we have DVDs, there's also some book bundles that are available that have a combination print book and audio book. So this is something that we're doing to help our patrons out to keep them safe. And then we also implemented a take what you need, leave what you need table. This started because we knew that there was a lot of economic issues for our patrons around here in this area. With unemployment and the inability to access a grocery store close by, food scarcity was becoming a real issue. So this is a table that we started back in March, and it's been completely voluntary. We've asked the community just to bring some things, and if you need something, you can take it with you. And this table has not been empty since March. It's been amazing, just the way that the community has come together to help out. We also have free craft kits that we give out. We give out usually about 3 different sets a week. This one you can see is for our upcoming story time next week that has to do with fireflies, so it's really cute. We also will give away free toys, books. We have a book exchange where people can just drop off titles that they're not reading anymore and take new titles. As we read our books here at the library, we're also putting them out here. So there's really been a good range of books that have been available for our patrons. We even went through our stuffed animal collection and got rid of some of the ones that were gently loved, but we just didn't really have space for. And with COVID, we're trying to provide more area that's not contact for the kids. So my big COVID project that I put together starting back in March is a community vegetable garden. My original intention with it was to show the community how they can grow vegetables and fruit in their backyard, and to do it in an inexpensive and fairly space effective way. So my original intent was to use pallets. But what I decided was to put in something a little bit more permanent so that this could be a resource that we can use all year round. So we have 6 different sets of planters. Up here in the front, this is summer squash, and I put a support system in. I'm trying to recycle material as much as possible. So this is actually when I had to trim some of the trees. I just went ahead and put the branches in there. But we've got the summer squash. Over here we have some native flowers that are coming in from Tennessee. We've got purple coneflower, which is also known as echinacea, and some black-eyed Susans. And then we have the same little support system set up from some zucchini, but the zucchini is growing in a little bit more slowly than our squash. We have kale. We have 3 different kinds of peppers. And then we also have 3 different varieties of tomatoes over here. We've got some of the beefsteak, some cherry tomatoes, and then some of the little tiny grape tomatoes that are in there. And these started out as these little itty bitty plants that were half dead when we got them, but they've really grown and done an amazing job. So this is set up for anyone in the community that needs some fresh produce. They can actually come back here and pick something that's ripe. and take it with them. We also take the vegetables that grow out of the garden and put them into front desks so that people can take things as well. So along with the garden that you saw, we also have 2 raised planters over here. Right now we've got some beets that are growing, 4 different varieties of cucumbers, and some English peas. And then there's a picnic table back here for people who just want to come and find a space to sit down and relax. Unfortunately, as you can tell, it's not as quiet as we would like, but it is just a secluded area that they can come and they can access our Wi-Fi. So we do have Wi-Fi available 24/7, and you can access it from anywhere in the parking lot or around the building. So we have started a new COVID-19 screening process for all of the patrons that come into the library. And this is also true for staff. So anyone that's coming in the building has to be screened for COVID-19 on a daily basis. And for us, what we found is that we have one of the Ring doorbells, and we ask people to just ring the bell, and we can speak to them through the doorbell itself. And that lets us maintain that contact-free environment while still going through the screening questions with them. So we do have 4 screening questions that Sumner County has required us to ask, and then we take everyone's temperature as they come into the building. Diversity is something that is really near and dear to our hearts at the Millersville Public Library, and so we are making sure that we have titles that are available for all age groups as they come through, because we have so much going on in society right now and questions that people are asking. So you can see this is one of the displays when you first walk into the building. We have some graphic novels, we have some nonfiction, some junior fiction, and then we also have some biographies in here. To get the kids involved, since they haven't really had much to do over the summer, we're working with the other Sumner County libraries and White House Public Library up the street, and we're doing what we're calling the Library Crossings Adventure. And so if you guys have played the game online, this kind of brings in elements from the game. We have a pen pal section, so you can see that kids are able to actually write a message. They can either write it to our little mascot here at the library, or they can pick up a pen pal from one of the other libraries in the area. So to help with privacy, what we're having the kids do is write a note here, and then they put it in our little mailbox, and we send that through our ILL system. So any of the libraries that are on the ILL system here in the Sumner County or even Robertson County area can participate in that program. So here at the Millersville Public Library, we also have our children's section that is still open. Even though we've had to put in some protections for our librarians during COVID-19, we do want to welcome our families in. To protect them, we are encouraging social distancing by limiting the number of people that are physically in the area, but we still are putting out the new displays, and we're coming up with new programs for them that are virtual, and bringing in new titles in print, play-away format, and some CD audiobooks. Our children's librarians are doing an amazing job of making sure that we're continuing programming for our families, even though we're having to do it virtually. So you can see that this is our normal storytime area, and they come over here and do videos here, and then they also are going outside and doing all kinds of creative and fun things to make sure that the kids are still connecting to literacy while they're at home. We do want to start in-person programming hopefully in September, though that's going to be outside the library, out in the yard rather than physically in here, but this is an option that we have. We've also provided virtual programming for our Art Ventures group, and that's an online class that does different kinds of arts and crafts, and it's really good for 8 years old all the way up through adults. We're also providing some virtual cooking classes, and we have an anime club, and that is appropriate for kids 10 years and older. We want to keep it from 10 to 17 because it does have a live element. We're doing watch parties through Discord, and so that's something that your students can do, and it'll help keep them connected with the community. So all of our virtual programs do have craft kits that are associated with them, and we put one out every week. So you're gonna see one for story time, one for Art Ventures, and one for Anime Club. And that way the kids can actually get the kits and either do it along with the video or whenever their parents have time to sit down with them and work.
Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want to make a gnome cupcake at home, take a picture so we can see it.
Yeah.
And happy eating.
Right there. Maybe give it a little bit of bling. Let's have that stand out.
So the last thing that we're going to harvest today for our salad are some of these sugar snap peas. And if you haven't had fresh sugar snap peas right off the vine, it is one of my favorite things.
Hey guys, welcome to our ventures. Now this week we are going to be doing image transfers with packing tape. Going into that junior nonfiction. And Sarah is coming out with you put your hooves in, you put your hooves out, you put your hooves in, and you shake them all about. You do the unicorn pokey and you turn yourself around.
We had a generous donation this year of a brand new TV, and it's a smart TV, so it does have internet access, which gives us 2 separate spaces that we can use for students for virtual classroom space. So you actually have a combination of ways that you can do it. We do ask for a 24-hour reservation just so we can make sure that the space is set up for the families as they come in. But they have the option of having the tables over here, and what they can do is just get online individually on the laptops. Each laptop has a set of wireless headphones with a microphone. So if they're doing a live class, they're able to interact with their teacher that way without being distracted by other noises in the library. Or what we can do is move the tables, they are rolling, we can move them out and actually put whatever the class itself is up on the TV, and then that way if there's several kids in the same class, they can participate all together. We do limit this space to just 4 people, that way we can maintain social distancing while they're learning. A new program that we've started is book bundles, and the book bundles are to help students that have some difficulties with reading print by themselves. We're providing a few different formats that they can use to get both the print book and the audio book. So you can see we actually have them set up, and we're waiting for one of the big shipments to come in that has a bunch of playaways in it. But these books have an option where you have the print book itself, and then with that print book, there's a card that gives you the link where you can go and access the book for free with your library card. So we're using RB Digital, we're also using Hoopla and Tennessee Reads, and this will let the students know where they can go to get that audio book, so it can just help them if they need to hear the book read to them. And then with the Playway option, as soon as those come in, we're gonna have all of the audio books for the middle school level and high school level that are published. There are 2 that aren't published right now, but we'll have all of those available as book bundles, so you can send your middle school kids and your high school kids down here and we can get them set up. Our young adult collection is continuing to grow. We have young adult fiction over here, and we are bringing in the newest titles. Generally, we put in 1 to 2 book orders a month, but we also take any kind of patron request that comes through. And as long as it's a newer book or one that's commonly read in classrooms, we'll go ahead and order that so that they can have it within a week. So you can see this is our fiction section. We have a nonfiction section over here where we're really trying to highlight emotional well-being for our students as well as test prep to get them comfortable. And test prep is something that they can also access through our RB Digital platform and follow SAT, ACT, and GRE prep programs that are online, and they're actually run by the companies themselves that do the actual tests. So it's a really great program to help them get ready. We're also working on a graphic novel section to draw in those teens. I don't know about you guys, but for us, teens are the hardest ones to try to get reading. So we're expanding our graphic novel section to really bring in some manga, as well as some of the biographies and nonfiction, and some of those classic literature selections that are just really tough for kids to read. So we're bringing that in and really getting that ready for school. And everything should be here on this shelf by August 8th, which is actually earlier than some of you guys are going to be going back to the classroom. We have a DVD section as well, and we're constantly bringing in the new movies and making sure that we have the things that our patrons are asking for. So you can see we're really highlighting some of those movies that are appropriate for the national conversation right now. We have the 1619 Project, Just Mercy, The Hate You Give, and just other titles that really help kids to discuss issues and have an opportunity to grow and to learn. So thank you for joining us on this tour of our Millersville Public Library. And if you're interested in coming in to get a library card with us, you can fill out an application. So you can come in physically and do that. We also have a link on our website, so you can apply for an e-resources card, and that will allow you to access any of the digital resources that we have with your card number. And then when you come in for the first time physically, we'll ask you for your ID and just confirm that it's you. But that way you can use all of the resources that the Millersville Public Library has to offer. So thanks again for joining me, and I hope to see you guys here soon. Bye.